Hello Zimbabwe, my name is Mudimu Jivas from Mudimu Law Chambers. I'm the lawyer for Prophet Freddy. The reason why I'm here is that I want to put the record straight about what happened. It is concerning Prophet Freddy. It's common cause that Prophet Freddy reported a case of extortion against, I think it's Rutendo, ZBC prisoner, and I think she's on bail. We don't want to divulge more about what is happening before the court because the matter is still pending before the court and investigations are still ongoing. There are so many questions which are being raised, which I think for the public court it's important. Number one, I think there was an address which was done by Chief Shkwaka yesterday, which was concerning what happened at his homestead when he summoned Prophet Freddy. First of all, we need to understand that according to Prophet Freddy, Chief Shkwaka is also one of the accused persons because that's where his initial extortion started. He reported that when he was advised to come to Chief Shkwaka, is what Chief Shkwaka confirmed that he came there, and upon being advised by one of the police officers that there is extortion which is taking place, he returned and he was stopped at the roadblock at Juru, wherein one Inspector Jaji as well as Chief Shkwaka came and forcefully took him to his homestead. What happened there is still being investigated, but it's common cause that Chief Shkwaka indicated that there were some police officers there. But he indicated to the public that he summoned or he called Prophet Freddy together with Rutendo, because he's the uncle of Rutendo, trying to resolve their issues. We don't know why he called the police. It was resolve the issues as Sekuru. We don't know why the police was there, but he indicated that there was an allegation of rape. That's why he called this police officer, so he wanted this police officer to hear if there is a rape case, maybe for them to arrest Prophet Freddy. We did not get more information from Chief Shkwaka on what happened with the police officers after their meeting. Why they didn't arrest Prophet Freddy, that is, if there was any allegation of rape. We were only told by Prophet Freddy that there was an agreement which was reduced into writing by one judge who is also a police officer. We don't know why, if there was a rape case, as is indicating, why they did not open a CR at the police station, why the matter was not reported at the police station, why they thought maybe the best way is to bring the police officers as well as the Prophet Freddy at his homestead, instead of maybe reporting the matter at the police station. So, in other words, at the end of the road, the conclusion is fish. We don't know why everything was happening at his homestead, in the presence of the police officers. Now, going to the matter before the courts, I think several things happened, which is also on the social media, which led to Prophet Freddy to report the matter. It's not in dispute that a motor vehicle, which is a Benz, which was actually retrieved from Rutendo's homestead, was given to Rutendo by Prophet Freddy after the extortion. It's not in dispute that there is also one who is saying is a brother to Rutendo, who called Prophet Freddy requesting him to pay $20,000 in 2 hours, failure, they were going to report a rape case. So their weapon, I think, they knew very well that Prophet Freddy is a public figure, and maybe he's a prophet. So the weakness is he doesn't want to go to the public. So they were extorting money. They were extorting material things from Prophet Freddy in several ways and at several times. That's what led then Prophet Freddy to go and report the matter to the police station. Thank you.
Prophet Freddy and Rutendo, were they in a relationship? What led Rutendo to start extorting from the prophet?
According to Chief Chikwaka, since he's the one who was handling this issue, he indicated that they were in a relationship. That's why at one point he said, "Why does you work?" Which means they were in a relationship, according to him. And if they were in a relationship, according to the papers, of course, I think Prophet Freddy at one point wanted to quit the relationship. That led now to these squabbles. So, to whoever was told there was a relationship, especially when you pick it from what the Secretary was saying, that surely there was a relationship. And at one point he indicated that, "I want you to stop this. This relationship should stop." Yes.
So did the prophet manage to end the relationship? Is it over now?
The relationship was over. And that's why there's this demand. I think maybe the other part was failing to stomach the pain for maybe stopping this relationship. But if you heard Chief Chikwaka's versions well, he said there was a relationship which I told them to stop it. And he indicated that at one point again, she called him, telling him that they are also having some problems. And he said, "Why are you keep telling me about Freddy when I told you way back that you should stop that relationship?" So it's clear from that version that these people were in a relationship. And maybe this is the consequence of having such relationships.
And according to Rutendo, she wanted to expose Prophet Freddy and also reporting, complaining about rape charges. When they were in a relationship, did Prophet Freddy not see that something is fishy from this, from my partner?
I can't comment on whether he actually saw the indicators, but I think maybe when one decides to end the relationship, maybe the other party may not be comfortable with that. But what is on the record is, after that, there were some demands and some threats. You understand where I'm coming from? There were some demands and some threats. Surely, if you talk of rape, rape is a serious allegation. I want you to understand this. Rape is a serious allegation, and as a lawyer, I'll tell you that it's actually a third stage offense. It's in the bracket of murder, robbery. It's a serious offense. And it's not something which one can say, if I hear that my next door was raped, we just ignore. Especially, let's take it from the version of Chief Chikwaka. Let's assume Rutendo told her about the rape. The first port of call was to report to the police. Let's assume she decides not to report to the police. He has the right also to go and report to the police, because he is the very person who was told about the rape. So, if he is the custodian of the law, as he's saying, he should protect everyone, including the relatives. He should have reported the matter to the police and not try to blanket the matter. There are so many organizations in Zimbabwe who protects women, especially in cases of rape, nothing from those organizations which we heard about. There is no report from any police station to say, Prophet Freddy, we want to hear because there's a rape charge. That's why we are saying this was a weapon which was being used for extortion. And surely we are talking of someone who is a radio presenter. She's intelligent. Someone who is actually, people look up to her, especially when we are talking of these cases of rape. She's the one who should actually give alarm, assisting other people. So by not reporting to the police, if surely there was a rape, then there's more to it. Not only that, these people were working together at ZBC. After the visit of Chief Shikoga's homestead, these people, Prophet Freddy was a presenter there, Rutendo was a presenter there. 1 minute away from them, they are police officers. And let's not forget, this alleged rape, when did it took place? According to Chief Shikoga, he said last year November. Since last year November, it's now 1 year. She was quiet about the rape. She never reported the rape. If she told someone, was there any report which was made? Then that's when Prophet Freddy is saying these people are extorting from. And it's not in dispute that a car was recovered from her. Actually, that car, she used it even to go to ZBC. She removed the place. I don't know for what reason. You understand where I'm coming from? And why was this brother of her calling Freddy to pay 20,000, giving him 2 hours? That's pure extortion. So for the case of rape, surely as a lawyer, it's something which is sensitive. It's not a small thing, and it's a big allegation which we need to take seriously. And I believe also Chief Chikwaka doesn't have jurisdiction to hear rape cases. He doesn't have that jurisdiction. Let's assume he heard about it. The first port of call is to go and report to the police. According to his jurisdiction, he can't hear a matter of rape, and he can't decide for the police to hear the matter and go away and maybe say, I'll call these people for another day so that maybe you can arrest him or what. No. It doesn't operate like that. There's a procedure for that, and I think every police officer is aware of that. I challenge maybe Chief Chikwaka to assist by telling us where he reported the matter, or maybe to tell us where he reported the matter of rape. And let's not forget that, according, as I said, that according to the papers, Chief Chikwaka is also an accused person. According to what, according to the record, as well as Inspector Judge is also an accused person. So whatever they say, it may be also a defense. It may be also a defense. But there is a matter which is before the court of extortion, wherein Prophet Freddy is complaining that Rutendo and those accomplices were extorting money, were extorting material things from him. You understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah. Maybe lastly, can you confirm as Prophet Freddy's lawyer that was Rutendo a member of the church, and they are also word that she was earmarked for a position in church? Probably that didn't go well with her, that led for her to extort money from.
No, from what I heard is Rutendo, even at ZBC, she was doing sessions which has to do with the gospel, and also she was to be ordained as a pastor, not under Prophet Freddy, but she was to be ordained as a pastor. And I respect her as an individual. Rutendo, she's a star as an individual. I think she just miscalculated her moves, and I think they could have done better. They could have done better. Both of them, they spread the gospel. They could have done better. There was no need for pushing each other to that extent, especially extorting money to that extent. And they could have maybe find a way, an amicable way of resolving this matter without even going to the public. And I believe a lot of things happened trying to resolve the matter, but you know, when you're calculating your things, maybe sometimes you may pick the wrong kind. That's all I can say.
So is she still going to the church and doing her studies on the
From what I know, because there's a matter before the course. It's not in dispute that Rutendo was going also to Prophet Freddy's church. She used to go there. We don't know whether she was going there for the gospel or for another reason. But she used to go there. And even if you ask the secretary, they should tell you about it. Because at one point, the secretary was also in also by Rutendo. You understand? And at one point, I heard she wanted also to do protection order against Rutendo. You understand? Well. But as for her going back now, I think she's on bail, which she needs to abide by, and she needs not to interfere with witnesses. And I think Prophet Freddy is one of the witnesses, and I don't think it's wise for her to go to the church now or even to communicate with him now because she's on bail.
So vamwe vari kuona panapa vari kutisvo hapana nyaya apa manga madi kumirira makotsi achapedza since nyaya yacho yakaripotwa.
That's correct. That's correct. The matter is still before the courts. The matter is being investigated. The matter is pending before the courts. And that's why we know there's nothing much about it. There's nothing much about it. That's correct version. And the courts have to see what's happening. They will take whatever judgment they are going to take.
Chief Chikapa yesterday said Prophet Freddy is bitter because his contract was terminated at ZBC. So in the process, he's trying to fix Rutendo, coming up with these extortion allegations.
That's why I told you that Chief Chikapa is a rapist person. You are failing to understand that when he said, I summoned these people to come to my home state, there was no issue of termination of any contract. It was a relationship which he said he was trying to resolve. Okay, let's assume he was bitter. Where was the car recovered from? And when was the car given to Rutendo? And when was this termination took place? There are a lot of questions which you need to understand. Just after she demanded the car, day after, she demanded 20,000. You understand where I'm coming from? According to what was reported. And the brother also, that's when the so-called brother, gave him 2 hours to make sure that he paid that 20,000. So I don't know where this version of termination is coming in between the so-called relationship between the two, and I don't think Rutendo have the power to terminate the contract for Freddy. She doesn't have that power.
There's something unclear to me, the issue of 3 gods. Chief Skaka says they came to his court his place as a sepulchre for Rutendo. But then I read somewhere that the Chief Skaka was demanding 3 gods for whatever.
That's why there is this issue of extortion. It's not only 3 gods. It's mentioned that he requested 15,000 in 3 gods. And according to him, he said that he didn't have jurisdiction to hear Prophet Freddy as well as this lady. because they are not under his jurisdiction. You understand where I'm coming from? But surprisingly, there was police officers, and if you heard very well, he said, "Judge, why did you bring one with uniform?" You understand? And we were not told by Chief Shkwaka the end result of those police officers. What did they do after? If there was anything to do with rape allegation, what did they do after? You understand where I'm coming from? So that's why I'm saying I think he has wisdom. He's so wise. But it's not clear why he brought these two people to his homestead and together with the police officers. If he wanted to assist the two as Sekuru. So it raised eyebrows. It raised eyebrows. But at the end of the day, extortion is something to do with intimidation. It's something to do with inducing fear in someone, so that you can take whatever you want to take from that person. And don't forget that by bringing police officers, that's why maybe Prophet Freddy tried to go back, because in his mind there was fear which he was being induced. There was some sort of intimidation. We need to understand that. And in his mind he's saying, if they are police officers, why are they here? Not at the police station. Why did they not call him to come to the police station? Why coming to this place? Why is it something which is sick and die? Because if the police officers if they want you for a certain crime, they don't do sick and die game. They just call you, we want you here. If you don't come, they will come after you. Not at somebody's homestead. They will come after you, they will look for you. So, you need also to understand what is extortion. Extortion has to do with fear. It has to do with intimidation. It has to do with threats. If you don't do this, I'll do that. If you don't do this, I'll do that. So in order to get something from that person, you need to, you want to benefit something from that person. That's extortion.
So, maybe in your own view, was reporting to the police the best option for Prophet Freddy, noting that as a cleric, then raises so many questions.
We need to understand something. Prophets are also human beings. They are also sinners. That's why they pray every day. We need to understand that. And you also need to understand that when one goes to the public, I think the pressure is too much. It's just too much. And the only way to do it, I believe he tried to resolve this matter amicably. I believe so. But if the pressure is too much, you don't put the law into your own hands. You have to go to the police station and report the matter. If surely there is a crime being committed, you don't put the law into your own hands. Even if you are a prophet, you are under the laws of Zimbabwe. You go to the police station and report the matter. And that's why I said, you know what? Extortion things, people will look at one's weakness. Because as a prophet, your biggest weakness is the public. If there's something which is innocent, if there's something which is bad, you don't want that to go on public. But if you find someone going to the public as